Hi, English students. I am going to help you with this book today, okay? This is Wordly-Wise, Book 8, and we're going to be looking at Lesson 2. So Lesson 2 is about Otzi the Iceman, okay? So this video is going to be in a couple parts. First, I'm going to read the words for you, so hopefully your pronunciation can improve. And then I'm going to just discuss the words, okay? Now, down below the video in the comment box, I will put a link to these sentences, okay? So these sentences are just bonus sentences that I wrote out and stuff like that. So if you need some more examples, because the book only has one example, you can click the link down in the box. Okay, so let's look at these words. Okay, so number one, abrasion, abrasion. Okay, and they have abrasive there too. Clad, clad. Corroborate, corroborate. Cursory, cursory. Dehydrate, dehydrate. Derive, derive. Electrify, electrify. Endeavor, endeavor. Gingerly, gingerly. Grimace, grimace. Gruesome, gruesome. Inventory. Make sure you have the V, okay? Inventory, inventory. Okay, inventory. And the last three. Okay, simulate, simulate. Succumb, succumb. And surmise, surmise. Okay, so make sure in surmise that the accent will go on the second syllable. Okay, surmise, surmise. Okay, so let's talk about these. Abrasion. Okay. Abrasion has a couple meanings. If I have my stapler and every day I throw it here and I throw it there, after many years, it's not going to look very well, okay? So there'll be like lines on it. Mine doesn't. I've had this for like 10 years, but mine doesn't because I don't throw it around, okay? But if you do, I mean, there could be lines on it and it'd look ugly and stuff like that, and these would count as abrasions, okay? The second meaning of abrasions, an abrasion, would be if you were on a bike and you fall off your bike. Okay, your knees and your elbows will all be like bloody here. This is also could be considered an abrasion. Okay, it is a higher level word for the second meaning. So like doctors use that a lot. Okay, so a doctor talking to a nurse will say, oh, I treated him for abrasions on his shoulder, something like that. So if someone had a wound on their shoulder. Okay, so it's not the same as a cut. It's not going to be the same as a cut. If a cat scratches you and you got three lines here, something like that, that we say is a cut, right? But an abrasion is more when like the skin is taken off. Okay. The adjective here, abrasive, abrasive. Okay, so abrasive means that something that will sorry, that will do these things. Okay, so if you say the actions of the waves is very abrasive, it means that the waves are probably hitting the cliff and slowly wearing them away. Okay, and if you could go back there 50 years later, maybe the cliff is actually further inland because some of the cliff will have fallen into the ocean. So we'll say the waves are very abrasive. Now you can use abrasive as well to discuss someone's personality. So you say he's very abrasive, or her personality is very abrasive. In this case, it just means that they're annoying. Someone you don't want to be stuck in an elevator with. Okay, so someone who's abrasive is not someone you want to be sitting next to on a long airplane trip. Okay. The second one is clad. Clad is a bit of an older word. It means that you're clothed in something, but it's kind of rare if you said like Michael was clad in a blue shirt and green pants and a red hat, stuff like that. We often use the word clad when it's like completely one color, something like that. We'll say the stranger walked into the store clad in black, meaning that they're black. All their clothing, hat if they have it, shirts or pants are all black. So clad in black, or you can say the material as well. Maybe someone's got some really nice pajamas, and oh, he was clad in silk pajamas. So you're kind of emphasizing the material, very soft touching stuff like that. So clad. Okay. Corroborate. Oh, sorry, I have a picture. Robert Downey Jr. Here he is, clad in jeans. Okay, denim. The material of jeans is denim. Okay, so Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man here is clad in denim. Corroborate. Corroborate means that if you have an alibi for something, the police maybe will check it. Okay, so make sure you know the word alibi. ALIBI. If all the car windows here get broken outside the house, and they're like, Daryl, it was Daryl who did it. I'm like, no, 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 no. On Monday night when it happened, I was in a different city, and the police, of course, don't maybe not believe you, right? So they will phone your friend in the other city. So they'll be like, hey, were you with Daryl on Monday night? Did he go over there? And maybe my friend will say yes. And so he said, my friend corroborated my alibi, or my friend corroborated my excuse, that kind of thing. Okay. Evidence can corroborate things as well. If there's video camera, you say, oh, if there's two people arguing, you did it, you did it, you did it, and then there's video camera proof. We'll say the video camera, the video corroborated my story. Okay, so then I was the one who's telling the truth, and the other person wasn't. Okay. Cursory. Cursory. If you look at someone's homework and you're like, oh, looks good. You didn't look at it very in detail. You looked at it. You gave it a cursory look. Okay. So cursory look, cursory glance. If you want to know the collocation, the two words that are often together. So in English we say collocation. It's words that you find together again and again. So often you'll see cursory look, cursory glance, that kind of thing. Okay. So cursory, here it has the words cursory search. Cursory search. Okay. Dehydrate. Okay. In English, if you see the word hide, the HYD here, it often has to do with water. Okay. It comes from the word hydrogen, but water. Okay. So dehydrate. D means not, and then hydrate means give water. So it says not give water. But dehydrate just means you take the water out. Okay. So the water comes out. So you can dehydrate fruit. You take the water out, usually with a fire or like a machine, and then you can eat the fruit slices and all that kind of stuff. It's good and delicious. It's a great snack. Okay. You can say I feel dehydrated. In this case, it means like I'm thirsty. Maybe you were working in the sun all day. All of these kind of things. Okay. Derive. Derive means that it comes from it. Okay. So English is derived from. Please remember the from is derived from German. Okay. Mostly German, and a little French, and Latin, and Greek, and so Gaelic. So English is a mess. But other languages are more pure, right? So you can say like modern Italian, derives from Latin. Okay. Yeah. Here's a little bit more of an abstract meaning. It says, after practicing so diligently, Hugh derived great satisfaction from the enthusiastic applause. Okay, so he's getting it from the reaction. Okay, so it comes from that. That's where he's getting his satisfaction. Good. Electrify. Electrify has two meanings. First, it means to make sure something has electricity. Okay, electrify. So if you electrify something, electrify a house, electrify a town, electrify a city. So maybe in a poorer country, we'll say the country will work hard to electrify that poor town that's up the mountain or something like that. So they'll have to put electrical lines going up the mountain. So this is called electrify. Now, electrify can also mean that it makes everyone excited, okay? So if you're at a concert and everyone's just sitting down and it's really boring, and then someone comes out and plays a really fast song, and then the crowd is like going crazy, we can say that song electrified the audience. Okay, so maybe like a little bit, the meaning maybe comes like electricity went in their chair, and they're like, oh, and they jump out of their chair. So the song electrified the audience. Obama's speech electrified those who were listening. That kind of stuff. Endeavor means you try to do something. Make sure that you do the word endeavor in meaning like harder things, okay? Harder things. So, if I try to put the cap on the pen, we can say try, that's fine, but we would never say endeavor for this kind of thing. So endeavor is going to be something that takes a lot more effort than just the word try, okay? I'm trying to explain these to you. I don't think very few people would say I'm endeavoring to explain these to you. It's pretty easy for me to sit here in a chair and talk to you. So, so we wouldn't use the word endeavor very much for that. Gingerly means you do something and you do it very carefully or very, very slowly. So if you hurt your shoulder and you want to put your jacket on, you might have to like put it on and then you're like, and then very gingerly put your jacket on, okay? Because it hurts and you want to not make it hurt. If you break a glass on the floor and there's pieces everywhere, you will walk very gingerly to get the broom, okay? So you'll walk and you'll just put your toes down and then you'll look and you'll put your toes down again because you don't want, pieces of glass in the bottom of your foot. So you'll walk very gingerly. You can also tell somebody, some news gingerly. So if you go to a friend's house and you run over their cat with your car, you have to go inside the house and tell them. So you'll tell them very gingerly. So please sit down. I'm really, really sorry. When I was coming here, I was driving my car. So you have to tell them very gingerly. It's not nice to say like, I killed your cat. So you have to tell them gingerly, okay? Grimace. Grimace is what you do with your face when you hear bad things or someone's about to hit you. So someone's about to hit you and you look like this. You're grimacing. In some ways, it's kind of the opposite of smile. The smile has kind of two opposites, okay? So smile can be, that's the worst smile ever. I gotta practice my smiling. But frowning is usually when someone's like kind of angry. That's frowning. Grimacing is more from surprise or from pain or something like that, or expected pain or something. If someone tells you really bad news and you're like, this is more grimacing. Frowning is more usually from anger. Okay, so grimace. Grimace can be a verb and a noun. Same with frown and same with smile. Okay, so verb and noun with the same meaning. Smile, I smiled. She has a nice smile. Okay, verb and noun. So grimace can be the same. They grimaced when they heard the news, and then the noun is like when I saw their grimace, I decided to order some food instead of cooking more. Gruesome. Gruesome is usually to describe something. It's similar to the word disgusting, but we often use the word disgusting for food. Gruesome can be more like if we say that movie's gruesome, there's lots of blood and stuff like that, blood and killing and all this kind of stuff. If you go to a farm and you see the farmer and they're like killing, this is me killing the chicken, there's bones cracking and all this kind of stuff. You're like, oh, that's really gruesome. Okay. Inventory. Inventory is when a store will get a checkboard, a checklist, and they'll make sure everything's on the shelves. And they're like, okay, do we have five shopping store? Do we have 5 bottles of shampoo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check. Do we have 3 bottles of lotion? There's only 2. Our computer says 3. Maybe someone stole 1 or something like that. This is called taking inventory. Okay. You can also use it as a verb. They inventoried the store, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So inventory. If there's an earthquake, and lots of stuff in your house breaks, hopefully you are okay. You might want to take an inventory of the stuff in your house, okay? See what's working, what has to go to the garbage, that kind of stuff. Simulate. It means you make something look real, but it's not necessarily real. Okay, simulate. If someone has a fur jacket made from animal fur, and you're like, hey, that's gruesome. don't wear a fur jacket. Oh, no. It's simulated fur. In this case, it's not fur, it's fake fur. Okay. You can also have like computer programs that will simulate things as well. If you want to practice flying an airplane, making mistakes when you're flying an airplane is kind of a big deal. So before you get in a real airplane, you might want to do a flight simulator, and you practice, and you can practice it with like strong wind, and you can get to be a better pilot and all that kind of stuff. So that's called a simulator. We also say the word simulated emotions, which does kind of means you fake emotions. So, maybe a politician, you tell the politician a sad story, and then the politician's like, hmm, oh, oh, wow. Yes, I will try to help you. But then they just ignore you. Okay. They're simulating interest in your story. They don't really have interest, but they also know they don't want to make you angry, and they want to pretend they're listening to you. Okay. So this is called simulating an emotion, simulated happiness, or something like that. Succumb. Succumb. That's a pretty hard word. Succumb. We usually say succumb. It can mean that um, you kind of finally give in to something. So like if my children want to stay up till midnight on December 31st and, Happy New Year and all that kind of stuff. But by 9 o'clock, they're kind of yawning. By 10 o'clock, they're like, ugh. 10:30, they're lying on the sofa. And 11 o'clock, they're sleeping. So we just say they succumbed to tiredness. They're trying to resist it and trying to stop it, but they just can't, right? Or if a newspaper reporter is reading something, but they think of something funny, they don't want to laugh, and they're like, and then all of a sudden they just laugh. So they succumb to laughter. They tried not to laugh, and they tried to do like a serious job, but they succumbed to it. Okay. And the last one is surmise. Surmise is a bit of a guess. If someone in your school, on Thursday they complain about toothache, and on Friday they're not at school. So you say, "Oh, I bet Helen is at the dentist." You surmise that, okay? So you're kind of guessing things from evidence. Got it? And it's a noun as well. Okay, so it's not like how many toothpicks are in here. Um, I guess that you can surmise that as well. But that's kind of more of a guess. Some people say 30, some people say 300. Surmising is more kind of like you know this part, so then you make a smart guess, an educated guess. Okay. Okay, so do what you can. My students, you have to do 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, and you can try to do the reading if you want. Okay. Prepare for a test. Okay. And if you've got extra time, go back and lesson one. Lesson one. Take care. Bye bye.